Hey everybody, this is Dave coming to you from the Gaming Cave. Today we're going to do something, a little bit of instruction for Title Bout II, which is from Straight Jab Media and game designed by Jim Trunzo. So I've seen some questions sometimes, odds and ends questions. I get some in my chat, sometimes I see it on Board Game Geek, but some questions about strategy, cornerman, referee, and those things. So I just wanted to kind of walk through how you use those, and then later on I'm going to shoot a video where I actually use them in a fight. It does add some time to the game because now you got to do some extra tasks during the game, but it does add a little different flavor to the game if you're after that. Playing Title Bout without them, like you saw in my first couple videos, is perfectly fine. The game works great. It works that way, but you do have an enhancement with the other rules. So I thought I'd show you kind of what you get a little bit and what some of the things mean on the cards, because it's not always clear and the rules don't give you a lot of detail on some of them. So let's start with the referees. So here I have a referee for my next fight coming up. It is John O'Brien, and he has some ratings: fouls, stoppage, consistency, boxer rate, and availability. And in the rules, it doesn't tell you what this means. Where I found what it means is actually on the website where you can buy the cards. In the description of the cards for the referee, it gives you that. And then you kind of got to put it together with the tables that they have. And a couple things still don't exactly match up, but I think it's close enough. So fouls is for like the referee table dealing with fouls, and when will he disqualify a fighter. You have some referees that are normal, and then here's the referee cards. Let's see, here's a lenient, George Seiler, he's lenient on that. Strict, Steve Smoger. Lenient, normal. There's a very lenient according to the tables. I don't know who that is. There's not a lot of them. There he is, Jack Reese. He's very lenient. Okay, so that's the type of referee he is. And then you have stoppage, which is late. Now, again, they don't give you a lot to go on for the stoppage part of it. And I've been looking through the tables, and there's a referee table, and but it uses the strict normal rating for when a referee decides to go to the ring doctor. Okay, so that doesn't tell you exactly what it is either. So you kind of have to, decide, does stoppage really mean with the referee table, or does it apply somewhere else? Now we have consistency. Now consistency makes total sense to me because it's right there on the referee error table. This is how consistent is the referee during the fight. So in this case, his number is 1 to 75. Now, up here, we have this table. If I can get this. I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit because I think it's got a little bit of a lean to it. There we go. Okay, so up here at the top of this referee error table, you have ratings: excellent, C85, very good, C80, good, 75, average 70, 65. So his consistency is a 1 to 75, which is good. So what you do at the beginning of every round is you draw a random number, and if it comes up, in this case, between 64 and 80, there is going to be an outcome that can occur during the round. It may not occur, but it could occur. And some of them have a 1 by them, like missed call on a slip. That means it only happens once during the fight. It won't happen again. Okay? So the lower this number, the bigger chance that he could cause some change in the fight. Okay. Now we have boxer rating 7. So what this means is when you're selecting your referee, the lowest boxer rating has to be 7 or higher. Okay, so in this case I have 2 fighters here. I have Oscar Bonavina, and his rating is an 8. And I have Curtis Shepard, and his rating is a 7. Because he's a 7, this referee will take this fight. Okay, if that fighter was a 6, if one of those fighters was a 6, then the referee would not take that fight. You have to find one that does that. The last one is availability. So the question is, in the world of fighting, is he available to do your fight? So when you select this referee, you then have to draw a random number, and if it's from 1 to 60, he's available. If it's 61 or to 80, he is not available. Okay. Some of these boxer ratings will say all, which means he'll referee any of them. Okay. So this is how you use these, and then they have small things that go on during the fight. All right. That's the referee. Then we have cornermen. Now the thing with cornermen is their ratings are a little different, and they're different than the rule book. Of course. So here is Ralph Citro. And let's get one that's got rating. Here's Peter Manfredo. Okay? His training is average, his strategy is good, his attitude is average, cuts, swelling good, boxer rate, anybody, he's an all. And his availability is 1 to 90, so he's going to be available. So if you get this guy, you're going to get him. Okay? Now, for the game, you can use 1 cornerman per fighter or 2. Okay. The first one, the way I do it, the first draw that I do, and I do random draws for my guys, is the cornerman himself. So the strategy guy. He's the guy that's going to affect the strategy. Okay. So in this case, Manfredo would be good. The second guy you pull for the corner, if he's available, and he meets the boxer rate, is the cut man. So let's say in this case it's Floyd Mayweather Sr. So his case for cuts and swelling, he's also good. So you would get a good and a good for that corner. Now but he's only available if you're an 8 and up, and availability is 1 to 30. So he's a lot less available. Okay, here's Nacho Beristain. This could be for the next fighter. He's an 8. He's a good on strategy. He's 7 and up, but his availability is not very good. And then you cut for your cut man. Here's Miguel Diaz. He's good for any fighter. His availability is a little above average, 1 to 40, 50%. And his cut and swell are poor, so he's not very good for doing that. But that's what you get sometimes. These guys then affect. I'm going to show you on the strategy what they affect. And then they also, if you suffer a cut, they can work on a cut. They draw a random number at the end of the round on a swelling or cut. They get 1 chance to reduce that and reduce the damage that it caused on the fighter. Okay. That doesn't mean they're healing. It just means that they reduce that effect so that it's taken care of. But oddly enough, one of the things, I'm going to move the camera here so I can show you in the rule book here, because I kind of got a lot of stuff sitting on it and I don't want to mess it up. In the rule book, it's talking about pulling strategies, and they give you transition words into numbers using the following. So excellent was 4. good was 3, average was 2, poor was 1. But when I get my cards, you have excellent, very good, good, average, and fair. So the names, and there's an extra rating in there. So what I did was I bumped excellent up to 5, made very good 4, good 3, average 2, fair 1. Okay, that's the number that you're going to use off of these fighter cards when you're picking strategies. Now, for a fighter, one of the things you probably noticed on your cards is strategies. Find it here. Back out a little bit. Okay. Fight inside, fight outside, cover up, knockout. Now, on the old cards, in the original Title Bout game, those numbers would be like 3, 2, 1, 0 or 4, something like that. And that's because that's how many of those strategies you could use during a fight. You could only fight outside twice. You could only cover up 3 times, right? Stuff like that. What this is now a rating number. So Oscar Bonavina, his best rating is fighting inside. He's a 9. Fighting outside and not going for a knockout, those are 7s, and his cover up is a 6. Okay? As opposed to Curtis Shepard, whose strategy rating for inside is 7, outside's a 5, cover up's a 4, but the KO is an 8. So that's his best rating. Okay. So you can see a couple ratings different. So in the rules they provide, and it took me a couple times of reading these to kind of settle in on this finally. In fact, I played a game and I didn't get much strategy use because I didn't quite do it just right. So there's a couple things that you'll get in your rules that are out on the website. They're free. I printed these off, and you get Title Bout strategy cards. And so this is your strategy selection. So countering offense, fighting outside, or fighting outside, stick and move. So a couple different versions of fighting outside. Another one, fighting outside, keep away. Defensive shell, cover up. Okay, fighting inside, work the body. Fighting inside, smothering attack. KO, load up on your punches. And KO, go all out for the knockout. And then finally, no strategy this round, and what to do if the other fighter picks a strategy. So this is where it comes from. Okay, these cards are, if you get that strategy, it then tells you what you do. So if you implement, your fighter that's going to implement the strategy gets stick and move, fight outside, and you look at, unless it is a no strategy, which is on that last card, then you look at the defense or the strategy the other fighter was employing, and you say, okay, this is the effect to your fighter. Your control factor is a +2, your punches landed is -2, your defense is -4, and all counters become misses for this boxer as he emphasizes movement. Okay, so these are the effects when you have strategies that you implement. Okay, so how do I do this to pick a strategy? I'm a solo player, right? So they did provide solo strategy rules. So you're supposed to pick one for your fighter, but I'm like, why does that matter? So I just do a random, I do a control, use the control factor number as your random number, and each round they're designated. So round 1, if your fighter's a boxer or a slugger, you pick your number and you then determine where it's at, and it tells you what he's going to do. So 1 to 9, no strategy. 10 to 15, stick and move. 16 to 17, countering offense. 18 to 20, keep away. Whereas a slugger, 1 to 9, no strategy. 10 is a stick and move. So the slugger doesn't fight outside as much. Work the body, 11 to 17, smothering attack, 18 to 20. So a lot more opportunity there. Then in rounds 2 to 4, you get a different combination. In this alternate number, there's a, if you believe or know that your opponent is behind on the cards, use the ultimate number. It's slightly different. Makes him a little more aggressive. Okay. Then you have rounds 5 to 7. Rounds 5 to 7. Then you have 8 and 9. 10 and 11 in a 12 round bout only. Okay. Because, let me get my cards to move here. You have rounds 12, 13, or 14 used in a 15 round bout. Can't get my card down here. For your boxer and your slugger. And then you have your final round. So a 10th round, 12th round, or 15th round. So whichever you're fighting is becomes the final round. Okay? Alright. I think that's all of them. Yep. So I printed these out on cardstock. I was tired of flipping through my notebook where I keep my rules and everything. And I use these. This is how I select. Then there's a formula, and this is where if you don't have the cornerman, they give you a quick system to say whether your fighter's picking his strategy or not. Okay? But then, if you were playing head-to-head with somebody, or if you're going to use the rules with the cornerman, they give you a method to say, here's how you determine whose strategy, who gets to use their strategy. So both fighters, we go through here and we pick what their strategies that they're trying to do is. Okay? And then, there's a small formula that says, you take the fighter's strategy number. So let's say fighting inside for Bonavina is a 9. And his corner rating. So his corner, in this case, strategy is an excellent. That's 5. So 9 plus 5 is 14. 14 is my base number for Bonavina. For Shepard, let's say he's fighting, let's say he's going to fight inside too. He's got a 7, and his corners are good, and a good is only 3 points, so he's 10. So he's 14 to 10. Then we draw the random number. So we take an action card. This is for Bonavina. We use the random number, but we only use the last digit of the number. So 2. So that 2 makes his, remember he was 14, is now 16. Okay. Over here, for Shepard, he draws a random number. It's a 4. But his number, because of his corner and his fighting strategies were 10, that makes him 14. So Bonavina is going to use his strategy. He's going to be the driver of the strategy. So what we do is we take the strategy cards. Let's say it was fighting inside. It was fighting inside, work the body, and his and the Shepard's was smothering attack. So what we do is we go to work the body because he had the higher point total, so 16 to 14. So we're going to use his strategy card. It's fighting inside, work the body, and his opponent was smothering attack. So punches landed would go up +1 and defense +2. And there's a special section over here that gives you a description of what's going to happen at the end of the round to the opponent's endurance if he gets it. So his strategy is the one that's going to cause the difference in the round, and that's because he has the better corner to help him actually use his strategy and the better skill set. So the better a fighter, against a weaker fighter, you're more likely to have your strategy be the one that you're going to use in the fight. Okay, so that's kind of a big overview of how how we're going to use strategies, how we're going to use the cornermen, how we're going to use the referee. So the big thing now is get into the fight, right? And see how it goes, and kind of show you how the strategies can affect the fight. They can actually make it a very exciting fight, or if you get two guys fighting outside, they're trying to stay away from each other, it's going to be a dull round, right? So that type of strategy can change the way the fight goes. So we'll use this system, and I'll show you how it works, and hopefully when at the end of this session and the actual playthrough, you'll have a better understanding if you want to fight your fights that way or not. Like I said, it's going to add just a little bit of time to the game a little bit, because you got to go through and do the strategies and see who's going to win it. If both fighters end up with the same strategy, they negate each other, it's a no strategy. If both fighters tie, there's a way to see how that's going to work out too. Okay, I think that's it for this little instruction on referees, cornermen, and strategy. And I'm really focusing on solo strategy. There's only a small differential. And like I said, if you want to play where you don't have cornermen but you want to use the strategy, you can. He gives you a simplified version of how you pick strategies for your fighters and if they invoke that strategy or not. Okay. All right. Well, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you get something out of it. And we'll do the playthrough so that it'll help it, so you can then see what we're doing. All right. Well, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And we'll see you guys on the next one.